And it's been just a few days, and the vehicle has already been driven 611 miles with the Eco OBD2, so everything should be set up for the testing. Let's go ahead and top out the fuel tank so we can test out the first fuel savings gadget. I'll use the same refueling process as I used in the previous vehicle. The starting mileage is 116,477. I'll go ahead and set the cruise control for 70 miles per hour. I'll check several different data points at how the engine is performing at 3 different locations. At the first checkpoint, the road is pretty flat. The top left corner shows just under 1600 RPM. Going from left to right on the top gauges, the engine load is at 36.47%. Let's go ahead and just ignore the average MPG for now because it's not accurate. The fuel flow is at 2.5 gallons per hour. Starting at the left side of the bottom row, it shows 69 miles per hour with 11 degrees of timing advance. And 28.2 miles per gallon seems way too optimistic. The mass airflow is just about 205 CFM. We're approaching our first hill with around a 3% grade. And the engine is holding overdrive at just under 1600 RPM at 69 miles per hour. The engine is sweating a little bit, trying to hold overdrive at 80% load, and the fuel flow is at 5.4 gallons per hour. The mass airflow is at 452.9 CFM. Going down a very small grade at less than 1%, the load is at 34%, and the fuel flow is looking good at only 2.31 gallons per hour. 16.5 degrees of timing and 30.4 miles per gallon. And it's not breathing too hard at 190.4 CFM. The engine has had 35 miles to warm up, so let's do a 0 to 60 run. And we're already at 60 miles per hour in 7.39 seconds, which isn't too bad for such a large and heavy vehicle. I do regret not turning off the traction control, and I believe that held us back a little bit. And the test for the Eco OBD2 is just about finished, and we're taking the exit ramp for our first fuel stop. We're now at 116,554 miles, which works out to right at 77 miles for the round trip. I'll be using the exact same fuel pump at the same gas station. I'll go ahead and fill up the fuel tank, and I'll once again allow 15 seconds after the first click to top off the fuel tank. And it took 3.44 gallons to fill the fuel tank. So 77 miles divided by 3.44 works out to 22.38 miles per gallon, which is actually pretty impressive for such a large SUV. So maybe the Eco OBD2 is helping. The Neo socket is a little bit more expensive than the Eco OBD2 at a price of around $20, but then again, it claims to offer 20% more fuel savings. On the back of the package, they do show several vehicles that have benefited from using this product and achieve very good fuel economy. According to the instructions, we could save up to 30% on gas. They also claim cleaner emissions, more horsepower, and a longer battery life. Before we test the fuel mileage without any of these devices, let's first go ahead and test the Fuel Shark. And the Neo socket Fuel Shark is made in China. Instructions for use are pretty simple. Simply insert the Neo socket into the cigarette lighter socket. The LED light should turn on. All you have to do is start driving. Let's test the Fuel Shark Neo socket next. After 5 miles of driving, I really can't tell any difference in performance. At the first checkpoint, all the gauges are almost the same as they were with the Eco OBD2. However, going uphill, we're getting about 1 mile per gallon better fuel economy. The engine load is better at 74.5 instead of 80% with the Eco OBD2. And the fuel flow is at 1.9 instead of 2.3. The third checkpoint is going down a small grade, and all the gauges are showing a little bit less fuel consumption with the Neo socket. Let's once again see how the Suburban performs in a 0 to 60 test. This time, the traction control allowed us to have a very clean start, and we're already up to 60 miles per hour in just under 7 seconds. Not bad for such a large vehicle.